from random individuals to legends capable of destroying entire countries, planets, or even galaxies. These are all 12 evolutions of Dragon Ball characters throughout the Dragon Ball series. Goku's story began as a small Saiyan infant sent to Earth in order to destroy it. He went by the name Kakarot, even though he himself was not aware of it. He was a short, spiky-haired kid with a monkey tail, unaware of his true origins. In this early child stage, he relied on raw instinct, surprising physical strength for his size, and his natural talent for martial arts. But even as a child, he displayed enhanced durability, quick reflexes, and an innocent but fearless nature that pushed him into battles far above his level. Over time, he mastered techniques like the Kamehameha and gradually refined his combat sense, all while retaining the same black hair, lean build, and the tail that hinted at his latent Saiyan heritage. Grandpa Gohan was the one who took him in and showed him everything he knew, before, of course, the tragic event we all know happened. Unknowing to him, one night, he was exposed to the full moon, which turned him into his great ape form. This form went berserk and killed Grandpa Gohan. As the years went on, Goku's middle transformations defined the evolution of his identity and power. His great ape form was the first major shift triggered by the full moon and fueled by Saiyan biology, massively increasing his size, raw power, and destructive capability, although with little control in the early days. The discovery of his Saiyan heritage eventually unlocked the legendary Super Saiyan transformation, turning his hair golden, sharpening his eyes to teal, and amplifying his strength and speed beyond anything Earth's fighters had seen. This further evolved into Super Saiyan Grade 2 and 3, bulky intermediate stages that heightened raw power at the cost of speed and efficiency. Super Saiyan 2 refined the aura into crackling electricity and elevated his combat sharpness, while Super Saiyan 3 completely changed his appearance with extended golden hair, no eyebrows, and overwhelming ki output, though extremely taxing. Later, the shift into godly transformations redefined him again. Super Saiyan God gave him a slimmer physique, red hair, and divine ki, boosting his senses, aura control, and overall presence. Super Saiyan Blue then combined the power of a Super Saiyan with God ki, turning his hair blue and giving him incredible ki stability, sharper techniques, and devastating combat potential. Throughout these middle evolutions, he constantly refined his martial arts mastery, ki control, and adaptability, becoming a fighter who could push through physical limits repeatedly. Goku's latest and currently highest form is perfected Ultra Instinct, a state that transforms not just his power, but his entire way of fighting. In its perfected form, his hair turns silver, his eyes become metallic gray, and his aura shifts into a smooth, divine white glow with sparks of energy. This state allows his body to react independently of conscious thought, granting effortless dodging, precise counters, and flawless offensive timing. His power in this form reaches a level where each movement carries overwhelming force without wasted energy, and his entire presence feels calm, controlled, and untouchable. Ultra Instinct represents Goku at his absolute peak, a fighter whose speed, awareness, and destructive capability surpass nearly all beings in the multiverse. This was only the first one, and we still have 11 more to go. The next in line is Vegeta. Vegeta began life as the proud Saiyan prince, raised under the shadow of planet Vegeta's destruction, and taught from childhood how to be an elite warrior. His earliest form we saw when he was first introduced was his base Saiyan state, spiky black hair that stood straight up, a sharp widow's peak, and the royal Saiyan armor that symbolized his status. He possessed unusually high battle power, ruthless combat instinct, and a cold determination shaped by the oppression of Frieza's rule. His abilities centered on raw aggression, precision attacks, and overwhelming confidence. And although he lacked the transformations he would later gain, he was already stronger than most adult Saiyans. His great ape form added massive size, enhanced destruction, and a colossal power boost when exposed to the moon, though his control was limited early on due to the nature of the transformation. As Vegeta progressed, his middle evolutions reflected both his pride and his obsession with surpassing Goku. His first major milestone was achieving the Super Saiyan transformation, which altered his appearance with golden hair and teal eyes, and sharpened his aura into a blazing gold. Later, he reached Super Saiyan 2, a more refined state with lightning crackling through the aura and significantly higher offensive output and combat precision. His power continued to grow under intense gravity training, divine mentorship, and battles that pushed him to the brink. When exposed to godly energy, he attained Super Saiyan God, gaining a slimmer frame, red hair, and divine ki that elevated his senses and fighting ability. From there, he achieved Super Saiyan Saiyan Blue, combining Super Saiyan strength with that godly ki. In this form, his hair turned a vibrant blue, his aura became controlled and refined, and his power, speed, and durability surged far beyond mortal limits. Vegeta's latest and most advanced form is Ultra Ego, a transformation granted by his understanding of the god of destruction's power. In this state, his appearance shifts dramatically. His hair turns a deeper, more intense purple, his eyebrows sharpen, and his aura erupts into a chaotic, flame-like mixture of purple and black destruction energy. Ultra Ego enhances his battle power the more damage he takes, embodying a mindset that embraces combat, pain, and raw offensive drive. His strikes carry the destructive essence of a god of destruction, allowing him to erase matter, unleash explosive energy waves, and fight with relentless aggression. Next up is Gohan. Gohan began life as the unusually gentle son of Goku, introduced as a small child with a bowl-cut hairstyle, big expressive eyes, and a surprising hidden potential, far exceeding typical Saiyan children. Although he disliked fighting, moments of intense emotion, especially fear or anger, unlocked explosive bursts of power that shocked even seasoned warriors. His base form was untrained but gifted, and early techniques like his first rage-fueled outbursts or the Masenko hinted at the incredible strength buried inside him. Despite lacking the aggression of a pure warrior, his durability, latent Saiyan power, and instinctive strikes during emotional spikes made him uniquely dangerous long before he understood how to control it. As Gohan developed, his middle evolutions reflected both training under harsh mentors and the gradual awakening of his Saiyan heritage. His Grade 8 form appeared during early childhood, vastly increasing his size and raw destructive power, although he had no memory or control over it at first. His first major conscious transformation came with Super Saiyan, turning his hair golden and eyes teal, giving him a massive boost in speed, strength, and ki projection. Training with Goku pushed him into Super Saiyan 2, a form that dramatically altered his aura with that crackling lightning, sharper features, and a spike in emotional intensity. This was the version of Gohan that defeated Perfect Cell with overwhelming power and precise energy control. Later in the Buu saga, Gohan's potential was fully unlocked by the Elder Kai, creating the ultimate or mystic Gohan state. In this form, he retained his black hair, but radiated a powerful white aura, and his body operated at maximum efficiency without needing to transform, giving him incredible raw strength, speed, and ki output. This state represented a refined, perfected version of his power, combining calm focus with overwhelming force. Gohan's latest and most powerful form is Beast Gohan, an evolution of his potential that manifests during moments of extreme emotional awakening. In his final state, his appearance shifts dramatically. His hair grows longer and spikes upward in a wild silver-white color. His eyes turn red with dark outlines, and his aura becomes a violent mix of purple, red, and white energy. Beast Gohan amplifies every aspect of his power: unmatched strength, rapid bursts of speed, and devastating energy projection that rivals god-tier fighters. His instincts sharpen to a feral, precise edge, allowing him to attack with both clarity and intensity. This transformation draws from the same core trait that defined his entire life: limitless hidden potential unleashed by emotion. In beast form, Gohan reaches his absolute peak, standing as one of the strongest mortals in the Dragon Ball universe, powered by a level of focused rage and awakened instinct unique only to him. From the student to the teacher, Piccolo is next. Piccolo began life with a harsh and singular purpose, born as the reincarnation of King Piccolo, with a base form that reflected his Namekian heritage: green skin, pointed ears, antennae, and a lean yet muscular build. As a young warrior, his abilities centered around natural Namekian regeneration, stretching limbs, and impressive combat instinct far beyond most Earthborn fighters of his era. Although his early power wasn't on par with Saiyans, Piccolo's intelligence, tactical thinking, and versatile ki control gave him a unique advantage. Even before major transformations, he could fire precise energy blasts, manipulate his body, and withstand heavy damage thanks to his regenerative abilities. His early life was defined by a cold determination to surpass Goku and prove himself through self-driven training, which sharpened every skill he possessed. As Piccolo grew stronger, his middle evolutions came not through typical transformations, but through fusions and intense training that drastically elevated his power. His first major evolution occurred when he fused with Nail on Namek, immediately increasing his strength to levels that surpassed even Frieza's soldiers. This fusion didn't change his outward appearance much, but it massively deepened his ki reserves, battle awareness, and physical ability, essentially merging two warriors into one. Later, his fusion with Kami marked his true rebirth. This union restored him to his complete Namekian self and transformed him into a fighter with god-tier senses, refined energy control, and a colossal jump in power. His aura became sharper and more controlled, his speed dramatically increased, and he gained near prophetic perception during battle. Throughout these evolutions, Piccolo continued to refine techniques such as the special beam cannon, light grenade, and his signature multi-form tactics. He remained one of the most analytical fighters in the series, always improving through pure discipline rather than emotional breakthroughs. Piccolo's latest and most powerful form is Orange Piccolo, a transformation granted after awakening hhis latent Namekian potential during the events involving Shenron's enhanced wish. In this form, his appearance changes noticeably. His skin becomes a deeper, almost glowing orange. His jawline sharpens, his physique becomes bulkier and more defined, and his aura shifts into a fiery mixture of orange and red energy. This transformation pushes his physical strength, durability, and aggression far beyond anything he previously displayed, allowing him to stand shoulder to shoulder with high-tier fighters. He gains greater resilience and far more explosive power in close combat. Moving on to a fan-favorite villain, Frieza. Frieza's story begins as a prodigy of destruction, born into one of the most powerful families in the universe, and his earliest form reflected a deceptive elegance. His first form was small and compact, with a sleek white and purple bio-armor shell, horns curving from his head, and a tail he used effortlessly in combat. Despite looking restrained, this initial form concealed terrifying power. He manipulated planets, commanded armies, and enforced fear with nothing more than casual flicks of his fingers. His abilities centered on ruthless efficiency, telekinesis, death beams fired with pinpoint accuracy, and a natural durability superior to most fighters even in their transformed states. Frieza at his base was already a monster, holding back vast percentages of power simply because he could. As Frieza progressed through his middle evolutions, his true nature revealed itself. His second form took a giant leap in size and physical intimidation, growing taller with elongated horns and thicker muscle mass, and his attacks became heavier, more explosive, and brutally overpowering. His third form sharpened his entire appearance into a more alien, elongated structure, with a stretched cranium and a more feral visage, enabling faster ki output and vicious, rapid-fire barrages. But his iconic final form reversed the monstrous progression, sleek, minimal, and polished, with smooth white armor, purple bioplates, and a calm, almost pure appearance that contrasted his sadistic nature. In this form, Frieza's power skyrocketed. His speed became blinding, and his techniques, especially the death beam, supernova, and his paralyzing ki waves, reached lethal precision. Later, after intense training for the first time in his life, he unlocked Golden Frieza, transforming his body into a radiant gold and purple design, dramatically boosting his ki, durability, and overall destructive force. The golden aura signified a level of divine tier energy, though early on he struggled with stamina control until mastering the form's energy output. Frieza's latest and most terrifying evolution is Black Frieza, a form that marks his highest peak and cements him among the strongest beings in the entire multiverse. In this state, his appearance shifts to a sleek obsidian black armor, contrasted with silver and purple accents, giving him a cold, metallic, almost divine look. His aura becomes dark, dense, and violently compressed. Black Frieza surpasses gods of destruction, combining extreme speed, explosive power, and flawless ki efficiency with advanced combat timing. His attacks hit with devastating force, where even Ultra Instinct Goku and Ultra Ego Vegeta were defeated instantly. From one fan-favorite villain to the next, we now have Majin Buu. Majin Buu's story begins not as a child or a warrior, but as an ancient magical being created by the evil warlock Babidi long before recorded history. His earliest form, Innocent Buu, often just called Fat Buu, had a pink, bubblegum-like body, a soft and round build, tiny eyes, and a childlike smile that contrasted sharply with his destructive power. Despite his playful nature, this form possessed overwhelming strength, incredible durability, and bizarre magical abilities, such as turning enemies into candy, regenerating from any injury, and reshaping his own body at will. His power wasn't measured in techniques or martial discipline, but in pure chaos, explosive ki blasts, elastic limbs, and limitless stamina that allowed him to fight without fatigue. This earliest state, although deceptively goofy, was already strong enough to dominate most opponents with ease. As Buu evolved, his middle form showcased the darker layers of his being. When pushed into anger, he split into the good and evil halves, with the evil portion forming Evil Buu, a tall, thin, gray version with a sinister expression and a colder aura. This form was faster, sharper, and far more malicious. After absorbing his good half, Evil Buu transformed into Super Buu, a sleek, muscular version with elongated antennae and a more controlled yet terrifying presence. Super Buu had immense ki manipulation, advanced regeneration, and rapid adaptiveness in battle, capable of analyzing opponents instantly. As he absorbed fighters like Gotenks and Gohan, he transformed into Buu-Tanks and Buuhan. These evolutions made him unpredictable, constantly shifting between brute force, elasticity, reality warping magic, and copied abilities. Majin Buu's final and ultimate form was Kid Buu, the purest version of his original creation and the embodiment of chaotic evil. In this state, he appeared smaller and leaner, with sharper eyes, a shorter antenna, and a restless, twitching energy that radiated instability. Unlike his previous forms, Kid Buu lacked restraint, strategy, or emotion, only destruction. His power output surged dramatically, and his speed, reflexes, and killing intent reached their absolute peak. He could regenerate instantly, create planet-destroying blasts with casual effort, and fight with a ferocity that overwhelmed even experienced warriors. This form represented Majin Buu stripped of all absorbed influences and morality, a pure force of universal annihilation fueled by limitless stamina and unpredictability. At his peak, Kid Buu was one of the most dangerous beings in Dragon Ball history, a chaotic engine of destruction whose power and savagery defined the final stage of his evolution. Next up is Trunks. Trunks' case is a bit complicated, I guess, as his story began under two very different circumstances depending on the timeline. But his earliest form in both worlds shared the same foundation, a half Saiyan child with lavender hair, sharp eyes, and a naturally high potential born from the combination of Saiyan strength and human adaptability. In the main timeline, he grew up as a cheerful kid under Vegeta and Bulma's care, showing impressive strength even before formal training. In the future timeline, however, he endured a harsh upbringing in a world ravaged by the androids, and this shaped him into a far more serious warrior even in his base form. Regardless of timeline, his earliest abilities included rapid growth in power, advanced ki sensing, and an instinctive combat talent supported by Vegeta's genetics. His base state was already formidable, with clean swordsmanship and excellent energy control nurtured by Bulma's technology and Gohan's training. As Trunks evolved through his middle transformations, his Saiyan heritage manifested in major power leaps. His first major shift came with Super Saiyan, which transformed his lavender hair into golden spikes and sharpened his blue eyes into teal, giving him a massive boost in speed, strength, and ki intensity. In the future timeline, this form was a symbol of hope against the androids, granting him the power to finally defeat them. He later reached the bulkier Ascended Super Saiyan variants, most notably the Ultra Super Saiyan form with exaggerated muscle mass, which amplified his raw power but limited mobility, a flaw he quickly realized in a battle against Cell. After reuniting with the main timeline fighters, he refined his Super Saiyan state and improved his ki efficiency under Vegeta's influence. In Dragon Ball Super, Trunks gained a new evolution of Super Saiyan Rage, marked by glowing golden hair streaked with blue godling energy, pupils that shine with intense anger, and an aura mixing gold and deep blue. This form gave him explosive bursts of strength and durability, allowing him to stand against god-tier opponents like Goku Black and Zamasu. Trunks' latest and strongest form is Super Saiyan Rage, the pinnacle of his emotional and spiritual power, representing a hybrid state that draws from both mortal Saiyan transformation and divine ki. In this final form, his appearance becomes fiercer, his golden hair spikes higher and gains a shimmering, almost electric quality, while his aura erupts into a massive wave of combined gold and sapphire light. His power reaches a level where his strikes carry godly infused energy, and his sword becomes coated in a massive glowing blade of pure ki, capable of cutting through near immortal opponents. His speed, durability, and destructive capability skyrockets, and his energy output becomes dense and unstable in a way that reflects his desperation and resolve. Next up, let's see Cell. Cell began life as a bioengineered creation built from the cells of the universe's greatest fighters, Saiyans, Namekians, Frieza, and even King Cold, giving him a base form designed for evolution rather than immediate perfection. His imperfect cell form was tall, insect-like, and unsettling, with a green, spotted carapace, a tail used for absorbing victims, and a face that resembled a humanoid but lacked refined features. In this earliest state, he relied heavily on stealth, regeneration, and techniques inherited from his genetic contributors. He could use ki attacks like the Kamehameha, regenerate from damage thanks to Piccolo cells, and grow stronger by absorbing humans. Although his appearance seemed clumsy and monstrous, his power constantly increased, and his adaptability made him a relentless hunter as he searched for androids 17 and 18 to trigger his evolution. As Cell progressed into the middle transformations, his design and power grew dramatically. After absorbing android 17, he achieved the semi-perfect Cell form, a more muscular humanoid build with defined facial features, broader shoulders, and a stronger overall frame. This form amplified all his inherited abilities, enhanced regeneration, stronger ki attacks, and combat instincts closer to a Saiyan's battle genius. But his true breakthrough came after absorbing android 18, achieving perfect Cell, a sleek, symmetrical, and refined transformation where his body took on a polished bio-armor structure. His eyes became bright and confident, his carapace smoothed into a streamlined helmet-like crown, and his entire presence radiated calm superiority. Perfect Cell gained monstrous power, flawless ki control, extreme speed, copy techniques from multiple fighters, and near limitless stamina. His fighting style became disciplined and confident, using his versatile genetic toolkit to overwhelm opponents with elegance rather than brute force. Cell's latest and strongest form appeared long after his original defeat, Cell Max, a colossal berserk upgrade created using incomplete data from Dr. Hedo. In this final state, Cell Max's appearance was gigantic and primal, representing a monstrous version of semi-perfect Cell with an exaggerated frame, sharp armor plates, and glowing red eyes filled with rage. Unlike his earlier forms, Cell Max lacked the refined intelligence and personality that Cell was known for. Instead, he was pure destructive instinct. His power level exceeded Perfect Cell's, giving him planet-shaking strength, devastating shockwaves, and near invulnerability to most attacks. His regeneration was nearly instantaneous. His durability reached monstrous extremes, and his ki blasts carried destructive force capable of wiping out entire regions. From a Saiyan copy to an actual Saiyan, Broly. Broly began life as an abnormally gifted Saiyan infant whose power level was so immense that even in his earliest form, his base state radiated a ferocity far beyond normal Saiyan limits. As a child, he had wild black hair, sharp eyes, and a quiet but intense demeanor shaped by exile on the remote planet Vampa. Growing up under Paragus' harsh training, his base form developed into a tall, muscular frame with animal-like instinct and suppressed rage that simmered beneath the surface. Even without transformations, Broly's abilities included monstrous physical strength, rapid adaptation in battle, and an almost primal resilience that allowed him to survive hostile environments and overpower trained warriors. His earliest power was unstable, raw, and instinct-driven, setting the foundation for one of the most explosive fighters in the Dragon Ball universe. As Broly evolved through his middle transformations, his power manifested in stages that reflected increasing loss of restraint. His wrathful state was the first major shift, tapping into the latent power of the Great Ape without physically transforming. In this form, his eyes turned yellow, his muscles expanded dramatically, and his aura erupted into a green, raging flame-like energy. His strength and speed spiked to terrifying levels, allowing him to pressure even Vegeta in mid-battle. As he continued fighting stronger opponents, Broly's Saiyan biology pushed him into Super Saiyan, characterized by golden spiked hair, green-tinted aura highlights, and a dramatic surge in ki output. His aggression intensified, his movements became more feral, and he started overwhelming opponents with pure brute force. Eventually, this transitioned into legendary Super Saiyan, the form that defined his identity. His hair shifted from gold to a bright, almost neon green. His pupils vanished, and his muscles expanded into a colossal but controlled build. This form gave him limitless growth during battle, allowing his power to rise continuously as he fought. Broly's final and strongest form is the fully realized legendary Super Saiyan, also referred to as Full Power Super Saiyan Broly, a culmination of his rage, instincts, and Saiyan potential. In this peak state, his appearance becomes iconic. Glowing green hair, massive musculature, white pupilless eyes, and an immense green aura that radiates explosive, swirling energy. His abilities in this form exceed normal Saiyan transformations entirely. His power increases endlessly as the fight continues, his durability becomes nearly impenetrable, and his energy attacks carry shockwave-like force capable of reshaping battlefields. His combat adaptation becomes instantaneous, allowing him to keep up with god-level opponents such as Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta, and even push them to fuse into Gogeta. From one anomaly to the next, we now have Jiren. Jiren began life as a quiet, determined child in Universe 11, and his earliest form reflected not physical transformation, but emotional shaping. After losing his family to a mysterious villain, he was raised by a martial arts master who helped him harness his innate strength. Even in his base state, Jiren possessed incredible potential, a tall, muscular humanoid with gray skin, black eyes, and a calm, stoic presence. His early abilities focused on disciplined combat technique, precise ki control, and raw physical force that surpassed most beings long before he ever unlocked higher levels of power. Driven by trauma and the belief that strength is the only absolute, Jiren's base form grew into one of the most formidable natural states in the multiverse. As Jiren evolved, his middle transformations were not traditional forms, but increasing levels of power release and mental focus. Jiren's suppressed form, which he used at the start of the Tournament of Power, already overwhelmed Super Saiyan Blue Goku with effortless blows. When he began to fight seriously, he entered his full power state, where his muscles tightened, his aura ignited into a blazing red and white flame, and his eyes sharpened with intense determination. In this state, his punches generated shockwaves across entire arenas, arenas. His speed became nearly instantaneous, and his ki control reached the point where he could block or deflect massive attacks with a glare or a flick of his finger. As the battle escalated, Jiren pushed even further, awakening his high-intensity power mode, where his body glowed with fiery energy and cracks of power rippled across his aura. Each increase in power amplified his durability, destructive capability, and precision, allowing him to fight on equal footing with Goku's Ultra Instinct Omen, and even challenge the perfected version. Jiren's final and strongest form is his awakened full power state, awakened when his emotional barrier shattered and his resolve ignited at its peak. In this ultimate form, his appearance changes notably. His muscles enlarge to their maximum definition. His aura erupts into a massive blazing red inferno mixed with white-hot energy, and the sheer pressure of his power distorts the environment around him. His eyes burn with heightened intensity, and every movement produces explosive shockwaves. In this peak state, Jiren's abilities surpass nearly all mortal fighters. He gains destructive ki blasts capable of vaporizing massive structures, near limitless stamina, and physical strength on par with gods of destruction. His reflexes become so sharp that he can react to Ultra Instinct level attacks, and his power becomes dense enough to withstand universe-shaking energy clashes. Moving on to Zamasu. Zamasu began life as a highly disciplined and exceptionally talented Kai apprentice from Universe 10, and his earliest form reflected both divinity and restraint. In his base state, he appeared as a slim, silver-haired Kai with green skin, sharp yellow eyes, and the traditional Supreme Kai attire. Even at this early stage, his abilities were far above mortals. He possessed divine ki, long life, advanced healing techniques, and remarkable combat skill uncommon for a Kai. His calm exterior hid a growing disdain for mortals, driven by what he perceived as their inherent chaos. This mindset became the foundation for his evolution, shaping how he used his divine abilities, his mastery of ki blades, and his near-perfect technique that blended precision and elegance. As Zamasu evolved, his transformations were closely tied to his ideology. His first middle evolution came when he took Goku's body, becoming Goku Black, a form that kept Goku's appearance but shifted it into something sinister. Darker eyes, colder expressions, and a pinkish aura corrupted by Zamasu's godly ki. Even as Black, his power grew continuously through anger and Saiyan adaptation, unlocking Super Saiyan Rose, a divine version of Super Saiyan Blue. In this form, his hair turned a vibrant rose pink, his aura became elegant but deadly, and his strength surged to god-tier levels. His combat style became fluid, almost artistic, with techniques like the violent, fierce God Slicer and his expanding blade of divine ki. Meanwhile, his original body continued evolving, and after using the Super Dragon Balls, he gained immortality, making him unkillable and granting infinitely regenerating divine energy. Eventually, the two Zamasu incarnations fused using the Potara earrings, becoming Fused Zamasu, a tall, white-haired god with an immaculate white aura, one wing of light, and overwhelming divine presence. This form combined immortality with limitless growth, giving him brutal strength, refined ki, and the arrogance of a being who believed himself flawless. Zamasu's final and most powerful form was Corrupted Fused Zamasu, the unstable evolution that emerged when the fused gods' immortal and mortal halves clashed. His body mutated into a monstrous asymmetrical form. One side remained sleek and divine, while the other became swollen, purple, and distorted, with veins bulging and energy leaking uncontrollably. His aura twisted into a chaotic blend of white, purple, and pink, reflecting the instability of his existence. Despite the mutation, his power skyrocketed. His ki blasts became planet-shattering, his durability reached near absolute levels, and his divine presence expanded to the point of becoming a literal cosmic entity. In his final stage, Zamasu transcended physical form altogether, spreading across the sky as a sentient, universe-spanning consciousness bent on erasing all mortals. And for the 12th character, we have Goten. As Goku's second son, his earliest form presented him as a cheerful, gentle half-Saiyan child with a youthful face, spiky black hair similar to his father's, and an effortless talent for combat. Even in his base form, Goten displayed unusually high natural power for his age. He learned to fly with ease, mastered ki control instinctively, and showed surprising agility and quickness. Unlike Gohan, who needed emotional triggers to unleash hidden strength, Goten's base state was simply strong, energetic, and gifted. His early abilities were playful rather than destructive, but he had already possessed the Saiyan instincts and physical endurance that hinted at tremendous potential. As Goten evolved, his middle transformations came quickly, much earlier than any other Saiyan child. His first major shift was Super Saiyan, a transformation he achieved effortlessly without understanding its significance. In this form, his hair turned bright gold, his eyes shifted to teal, and his energy output spiked dramatically. Despite his young age, the speed boost, enhanced strength, and sharper aura control allowed him to spar evenly with Kid Trunks. However, unlike Goku or Vegeta, Goten's Super Saiyan lacked deeper emotional refinement. He relied on instinct and playfulness rather than disciplined ki mastery. Over time, he improved his efficiency, stamina, and basic technique, but he never pushed into higher or more refined forms, since his childhood life remained peaceful and lacked the intense battles that shaped other Saiyans. Goten's final and strongest individual form remains Super Saiyan, though by Dragon Ball Super, he has grown taller, leaner, and more defined. With better ki control and more mature movement, his hair spikes differently, reflecting slight aging, and his Super Saiyan transformation becomes more stable and controlled than it was as a child. His abilities in his latest state include improved combat instincts, better flight control, cleaner energy blasts, and faster reaction speed, though he still lacks the rigorous training and emotional breakthroughs needed to unlock godly forms or advanced Saiyan evolutions. Thanks for watching, and click on this video next for more great anime content. Go on, check it out!